buddies, it's your girl AyChristene, and today we are checking out My First Job by Bunnimation. Link for this video is in the description box below for you to check out. Now let's get started.
Be considered a job. As a little girl, I always volunteered to help out with the family business for free because I was an attention-seeking little shit. When I got a bit older, I learned to profit off of the vulnerable adults that live near me. So the ones with bad backs and the ones who desperately needed alone time from their kids.
Okay.
So I admit the title for this video is kind of too vague, but today I'm specifically discussing my first retail minimum wage job experience.
Oh, okay.
Retail, where you finally get the chance
Not a
to
YouTuber.
make a difference. No, silly. You make up a signature. For legal reasons, of course. Like, you know, workplace injuries on an industrial grill. Sounds grim, but don't you worry. They mostly just want your signature so that they can legally buy whatever's left of the finite amount of time that you have in this world.
Oh,
I
dear.
got paid 10 Canadian dollars per hour, which could buy me 2 Big Macs on my cheat days. If I'm lucky, I can get 10 street hot dogs, or I could get 1 large popcorn at the local movie theater I worked at. By now, you're probably imagining a fancy franchise theater with arcades and some cute claw machines.
I miss
perfect for
movie
couples on
theater
their
in
first
general.
dates, and some reclining lazy boy seats with IMAX screens. Well, no, you're wrong. I worked in a family-owned theater, and it looked like this. It's a small town. So it was this or Walmart. My house was actually perfectly smack down right between the two. But I wanted to avoid like 50% of my classmates who worked at Walmart.
Right.
Don't ask why. Now, I won't talk too much about how I got the job at the theater because, I mean, who wouldn't want to hire a straight A student with a resume that the careers class teacher even ended up using as a template?
Shut up, nerd. You're just scooping popcorn.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I was still just a starry-eyed, overly optimistic high schooler, which is valuable and will get you the job, trust me. Oh, and black pants only, and if you can, better shoes. Something wrong with my tennis shoes? Well, I guess it never hurts to give something a try. And now here's my thumbnail idea. Thank you, boss. That was a great introduction to workplace health.
They tell you to wear the, they actually have you order a certain type of shoes when you're working in the food industry, because if there's like, especially if you work at like McDonald's or Burger King, right? And grease gets on the floor, there's a particular shoe that you wear that reduces your chance of slipping. And I'm telling you, them shoes are comfy, bruh. Them shoes are comfy. But it's not that they absorb the grease, but that gunk be getting stuck up in the shoes, bruh. Like stuck up in the bottom of the shoes. So, I mean, you don't slip, but they smell like the place. They are very they don't absorb grease, but they absorb everything else, bruh. Oof.
Try. And now here's my thumbnail idea. Thank you, boss. That was a great introduction to workplace health and safety.
That's good.
Is it my fault to underestimate how slippery the floors were? Because, you know, I didn't realize that
He should have told you.
Became like butter on toast.
Yeah.
But for teenagers like myself, perks were super
who
hard
should
to
I
say
bring?
no to.
Oh,
and
yeah.
movie posters for grabs after we took them down.
Oh, that's
and I'll
cool.
have you guys know, the summer of 2010, when I worked there, it was a legendary year for movies.
Oh.
We had Captain America, the first Avenger, the first ever Thor movie, and Ryan Reynolds starring as the Green Lantern. We were so close to a perfect year. And now it's probably a good time to mention to
Green
you guys,
Lantern was
everyone
pretty
else
bad.
in the staff was also all in high school.
That's good.
So it was nice hanging
What
out with
people
people
think
my
girls
age.
do.
And there was only one guy, Andrew. Okay, but reason why I'm telling you this is because when Thor stopped playing in theaters, our boss had to organize this literal like martial arts tournament of rock, paper, scissors.
Really?
So the girls could fight over the 2 Thor posters that we had left. Because the boss already took 2 of them. One for his daughter and the other for whom I can only reasonably assume is himself. I didn't even want one, but I pretended I also really wanted a Thor poster. You know what? Peer pressure comes in all shapes and sizes.
End up winning.
Jess,
Really?
you have it. I already got so many posters of Zac Efron and Justin Bieber in my room anyway. I don't need it.
Can you tell him a type?
My God. Thank you, Bun.
Yeah, of course. Just take over my floors today. We're good. Smooth transition into how I hate cleaning. So I remember the popcorn machine
Boyfriend's
the
like
longest
staring
to clean
at her.
every day, so we had to start cleaning it while the kettle was still scorching hot.
Oh, dear.
You make this mitten with half a roll of paper towels, spray down the whole machine with a special in-house detergent that our boss gave us, and you just hold your breath. And if that's not gross enough to think about the next time you're eating
the
popcorn,
chemicals.
we were trained to refill the butter, which is not butter, tank below the machine whenever it hits 30% empty. Our smart boss kept the refill bucket stored in the back room, which was a giant walk-in freezer. So we had to scoop rock solid frozen butter. Oh, worry not. He taught us that we can just use our bare hands to scoop so that the warmth of our hands would, you get it. So you just wash your hands first and nope. And that's why by the second week on the job, I was like, Well, there goes the best part of the job.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what kind of sick bingo game my boss was playing, but he didn't have any workplace health or safety left.
Oh dear.
So, Miss Bunn, could you summarize your previous job experience?
Oh goodness.
Basically, every shift, we would collect about $50 worth of pop and $50 worth of popcorn to throw away. And I made less than $50 a shift.
Oh
Interesting.
dear.
So, what did that experience teach you? Well, I learned that movie theater food margins were way too high, and how management didn't get a third soda fountain was a major operational bottleneck. And why the heck were they refilling the oil tank when it was still more than half full? I mean, some of the oil in there has probably never been fully replaced, and is probably years old and gross. And what is that refill bucket doing in the freezer? It doesn't help preserve it any longer. We go through one of those every month. Also, what is in that cleaning detergent? And is it even food safe? Because it sure didn't smell like it was. And these are the questions I asked the girl who trained me, and my coworkers, and my boss. And you know what he told me? Well, you're absolutely right. I was always curious what it would be like when I hired an overachieving student. And then he did nothing! So I quit after the 3rd month. When my parents found out and got angry, I told them that the reason I quit was because 10th grade was starting and I wanted to study more for my AP classes.
Okay.
And of course they believed me.
That's good.
If you're about to go get a retail job part-time or full-time for the 1st time or for the 5th time, I actually envy you. Retail jobs really force you to think quickly on your feet and can change your...
They do. Okay, what's the name of this theater? Does she have an actual picture? She did have an actual picture, right? Yes. Okay. Well, why am I looking? I don't live in Canada. I live all the way in Florida. As far in the continent as you can get, state-wise from Canada. That is disgusting. All right. That is disgusting. You scooping out the butter to use and scoop with your hands because the warmth in your hands will clean that. Okay. Butter, right? It's a fat, right? If you know anything about fat, like it sticks to things, that's how it works. It like sticks to things. That's why we also use it as a spread. When you spread butter on bread, right? And let's say you have a cold piece of bread or butter and you're trying to move it across. What happens to that butter? Is it still clean butter? Or does it have crumbs from the bread that it touched upon the butter? It does, okay? Which means that when these teenage kids who may or may not have been washing their hands, when they're scooping out butter with their bare, nasty, unwashed bathroom hands, all the little tiny germs and crumbs that are on their hands is now in the butter. And if you're like, well, when it heats up at a certain temperature, those germs are killed, then I propose this question to said person. If I freshly pooped and wiped my fingers through my butt crack and then touched your food and then put it in the oven, would you then still eat it? Think about that. That is disgusting. Outside of his food part and the fact that he didn't give her proper shoes for the place, it sounds like she had a fun place to work though as a teenager. When I was a high schooler and I had a part-time job at Burger King, it was fun. When you had other high schoolers there, you had fun. There were ups and downs to the job, but at least with her boss having little rock, paper, scissor tournaments so that they can get the posters was like a fun thing that he did. He did seem pretty freaking laid back, which is pretty awesome, especially with his response. Like I knew, he's like, good question. I knew it'd be in for it with hiring an overachieving. Like he seems like he's not one that pulls his punches, and he doesn't seem like he's passive aggressive. He deflects, but he's not passive aggressive. He's fun. So as a boss, I think he's cool. As a business owner, sir, we need to fix some things, okay? Fix some things. You work in the food service industry, fix some things. But that aside, as a boss, I think he'd be somebody I'd probably like to work for if I were to, you know, if I was going to get a part-time job right now. He seems like somebody I would want to work for. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you think of her part-time job experience at the movie theater? Is it a job you would want? What do you think? What is your take on his manners of keeping the plates? Let me know your thoughts down below. If you like the video, check out the link in the description box below to support Bunnimation and tell her I said hi. If you like this video, hug the life out of that like button. I love you guys as always. And until next time, buddies. Toodles.